A previous maintenance person at a workshop or facility creatively attached this custom-made PVC piece to a shop vac, a heavy-duty vacuum cleaner. The PVC addition has a screw on each side, allowing it to be adjusted or secured, and it is designed to move up and down. The current user of the shop vac cannot figure out the intended purpose or benefit of this modification. What is this DIY PVC attachment on the vacuum cleaner for? As astutely suggested by another individual working in the cleaning and maintenance field, this PVC attachment is highly likely to be a custom-made ergonomic handle and/or a convenient holder for the shop vac's power cord or a flexible suction hose. Maintenance personnel and workshop users often devise clever and practical modifications to their tools and equipment to address specific annoyances, improve usability, or enhance organization. In this case, the PVC piece, with its ability to move up and down and be securely fastened with screws, was probably designed by the previous maintenance guy to achieve one or more of the following: provide a more comfortable or strategically positioned carrying handle for maneuvering the often bulky shop vac, create a dedicated and secure place to neatly wrap the long power cord for storage or transport, preventing tangles, or function as a clip or guide to keep the vacuum hose organized and out of the way when the shop vac is being moved around the workspace or stored when not in use. It's a testament to practical, on-the-job ingenuity. These black, rubbery but very stiff bits are being repeatedly found in the laundry after wash cycles. They are described as being black with a slight bluish tint, and some of them exhibit a kind of parallel ridgework or texture on their surface. Their persistent appearance in clean laundry suggests they are being picked up on clothing from an external source. What could these resilient, rubbery fragments be? These black, rubbery bits are highly likely to be fragments of shredded or recycled car tire mulch, a material commonly used as a safety surfacing material in children's playgrounds and sometimes in landscaping. Recycled rubber mulch, made from end-of-life automotive tires that are ground or shredded into small pieces, is a popular choice for playground surfaces because it provides excellent impact attenuation, cushioning falls and reducing injury risk, is very durable, requires relatively low maintenance compared to organic mulches like wood chips, and allows for good drainage. If children in the household frequently play on a playground that utilizes this type of rubber mulch, it is very common for small pieces of the material to get into their shoes, pockets, cuffs of their pants, and hair. These fragments then inevitably end up in the laundry, surviving the wash cycle due to their robust rubber composition. The parallel ridgework mentioned could be remnants of the tire's original tread pattern or a texture created during the industrial shredding and granulation process. A flat and somewhat oblong, yet also roundish, large rusted metal tank, equipped with a robust side handle, was discovered buried approximately a foot deep underground. This discovery was made about 30 feet out and away from the front of a house. The historical context of the location includes that the house was originally constructed as a hunting lodge in the year 1890, situated near Springfield, Missouri, and adjacent to a railroad line. The tank itself appears to be of 20th century origin, though its exact age is difficult to determine, and it is unclear if it is still attached to any piping or other subterranean structures. What is this large, buried metal tank likely to have been used for? This buried metal tank is identified as looking like a vintage fuel or oil storage tank, most probably used for storing heating oil or possibly kerosene for the lodge. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, particularly for rural or semi-isolated dwellings like a hunting lodge built in 1890, access to municipal natural gas or electricity for heating was often unavailable. Consequently, many such buildings relied on oil-fired or kerosene-burning stoves, furnaces, or boilers for heating, and sometimes for cooking or lighting. The fuel for these appliances was commonly stored in substantial underground or basement-located tanks to ensure an adequate supply, especially through cold winters. The robust side handle might have been for maneuvering the tank during its initial installation, or if it was a type that was periodically refilled above ground before being reburied or placed in a cellar or outbuilding. The warning provided in the original solution is crucial. Old, buried storage tanks can contain hazardous residual material, potentially explosive pressurized fumes, or may have leaked over time, causing significant soil and groundwater contamination. Such tanks should not be disturbed, opened, or removed without professional environmental assessment and specialized handling procedures. A school safety coordinator was presented with this small, yet fairly thick, metal pin by another teacher in the building. The pin's appearance reminds the safety coordinator somewhat of a fire extinguisher release pin, but it doesn't quite match any known examples. Crucially, the pin came with a warning label attached to it, and unfortunately, the building administrators have been unable to identify its specific origin or purpose within the school. The school in question is a high school. What could this important-looking, safety-related pin be? This pin is identified as looking very similar to a critical safety pin from an emergency fall rescue system, also known as a fall arrest system. Such comprehensive safety systems are mandated and used by personnel who are required to work at significant heights. For example, contractors or maintenance staff working on rooftops for tasks like HVAC repair, roof inspections, as mentioned, inspecting leaks, or other elevated work. These systems typically involve a full-body harness worn by the worker, a lanyard or self-retracting lifeline, SRL, and a secure anchoring device or anchor point. The pin in question could be a locking pin that secures a component of the anchor system, a release pin for a self-retracting lifeline mechanism, allowing it to be serviced or detached, or part of the connection mechanism between the harness and the lanyard. The presence of a warning label strongly underscores its safety-critical nature. The safety coordinator correctly plans to investigate if any roofing contractors or other personnel using such fall arrest systems were recently on site. It is vital to ensure that such a component isn't missing from an active life safety system within the building or on its equipment. Discovered tucked away under the passenger seat of a car, this round, keyfob-like electronic device's origin is a complete unknown. An LED light on the device illuminates when it is switched on. The central part of the device is not a button, but instead appears to be some form of speaker, microphone, or perhaps a radio wave emitter. The internal microchip is not labeled, offering no clues. A printed tag on the device reads EMR 1.03 2021-05-18, but this information yields no useful results in online searches. The finder is understandably a bit spooked and paranoid about what this mysterious electronic fob could be. What is its function? This round, keyfob-like electronic device is identified as a rechargeable ultrasonic tick and flea repeller. These small, portable devices are designed and marketed to emit high-frequency ultrasonic sound waves. These sound waves are typically inaudible or barely perceptible to humans and most common domestic pets, like dogs and cats, but they are claimed by manufacturers to be irritating, disorienting, or repellent to parasites such as ticks and fleas. They are often promoted as a chemical-free, non-toxic alternative or supplement to traditional topical or oral flea and tick preventatives. These repellers are usually compact, lightweight, and battery-operated, often rechargeable via a USB connection, as the rechargeable in the solution implies. They are designed to be conveniently clipped onto a pet's collar, a person's backpack, clothing, or, as in this case, simply kept in a vehicle to provide a zone of supposed protection during outdoor activities or travel. The speaker, microphone, radio-looking center part would indeed be the ultrasonic emitter that generates the high-frequency sound. This old, rusty, solid steel object was discovered lying at the bottom of a hill in a wooded area. Its specific shape or form isn't fully detailed in the provided snippet, but its material, solid steel, rusty condition, and discovery location, woods, bottom of a hill, suggesting it was discarded or rolled there, hint at it being a piece of abandoned outdoor equipment. What could this be? This rusty steel object is identified as a component piece from old-school playground equipment. The commenter further clarifies it's upside down and it's missing the platform you stand on. This additional detail strongly suggests it might be the central support pole and upper rotating mechanism for a type of traditional spinning merry-go-round, often called a roundabout in some regions, or perhaps the fulcrum assembly from a heavy-duty metal teeter-totter, seesaw, or even a major structural element from an old metal climbing frame or jungle gym. Many older playgrounds, particularly those from the mid-20th century and earlier, featured extremely robust and heavy equipment constructed primarily from welded or bolted steel. When these playgrounds were eventually decommissioned due to age, changing safety standards, or redevelopment, the old equipment was sometimes simply dismantled and discarded in out-of-the-way locations like wooded areas, ravines, or down hills, rather than being properly recycled or disposed of, leading to such finds years later. Several of these distinctive 12-pin, low-voltage plugs were discovered in a house that was just purchased. Their specific appearance, with multiple pins, suggests they are not standard power plugs or common audio-video connectors. What are these specialized electrical connectors, and what type of system would they have been used for? This 12-pin plug is identified as a multi-line rotary phone connector, a type of connector used in older, more complex business telephone systems or sometimes in elaborate residential phone setups from the mid to late 20th century. These systems often involve features like multiple incoming phone lines, intercom capabilities between extensions, and proprietary telephone sets with illuminated buttons or special function keys. The 12 pins, or sometimes more, like 25-pin Amphenol connectors for larger systems, within the connector were necessary to carry the various electrical circuits required for these multiple phone lines, as well as signaling information for ringing, hold status, intercom calls, and often low-voltage DC power for features like the illuminated buttons or small displays on the telephone sets themselves. These connectors would interface the multi-line telephones with the premise wiring, which in turn connected to the phone system's central control unit, known as a key service unit, KSU, or a private branch exchange, PBX. A link to a collector's discussion forum, mentioned in the original solution, shows a similar connector, confirming its use in the realm of vintage telecommunications equipment. This item, measuring approximately 4 inches by 2 inches, is constructed from wood and features a velvet-covered surface. It bears the trademark realistic and is thought to probably date from the 1990s or early 2000s. Its materials and branding hint at an audio-related accessory. What is this cleaning tool specifically designed for? This item is definitively identified as a dust cleaner, specifically designed for cleaning vinyl records. The brand Realistic was a well-known house brand name used by the Tandy Corporation for their extensive line of consumer electronics, audio equipment, and accessories sold through their Radio Shack stores. This type of record cleaner typically consists of a handle, often made of wood or plastic, to which a cleaning pad is attached. This pad is covered with a very soft, lint-free material, commonly velvet or a similar plush fabric. Some more advanced versions also incorporate a central row of extremely fine carbon fiber bristles, which are designed to reach deeper into the record grooves and help dissipate static electricity. Before playing a vinyl record, the user would gently sweep this cleaner across the record's delicate surface, either while the record was stationary or slowly rotating on the turntable. This action effectively removes accumulated dust, fingerprints, static charges, and fine particulate matter from the grooves. Regular cleaning with such a device helps to improve sound quality during playback by reducing surface noise, clicks and pops, and also helps to prolong the life of both the stylus, needle, and the record itself by minimizing abrasive wear. A peculiar Petri dish, apparently filled with a substance resembling mayo, mayonnaise, was observed resting on a windowsill within one of the towers of the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, Spain. It was noted that there was one of these dishes in every window opening along the helical staircase. Each dish had a diameter of approximately 5 centimeters. Given the location, a historic and ornate cathedral, and the substance's appearance, what are these dishes and their contents for? This Petri dish containing a mayonnaise-like substance is identified as a form of bird repellent. Specifically, it is very likely a dish containing a specialized, non-toxic, and often transparent or translucent sticky gel or paste that is designed to deter birds, such as pigeons, sparrows, or starlings, from perching, roosting, or nesting on ledges, windowsills, cornices, statues, and other architectural features of buildings. Birds find the tacky, unstable, or visually distorting surface created by the gel to be unpleasant or unsettling to land on, and they will typically avoid treated areas. These types of bird-repellent gels are frequently used on historic buildings, monuments, and public structures like the Sagrada Familia to prevent the aesthetic damage, mess, and potential structural harm caused by bird droppings and nesting activities without causing physical harm to the birds themselves or altering the appearance of the protected structure significantly. The Mayo consistency is typical for these thixotropic gels. This small, gray, bump-like object was seen installed in a parking lot, specifically on one individual parking spot. It is secured with 2 screws, and an additional screw hole appears to be covered or unused. A logo resembling a car is visible on the device. What is this small, surface-mounted device found in a parking space? This small gray bump is identified as an individual parking sensor, likely the Proxima model, as indicated by the reference link in the original solution. These are typically surface-mounted ultrasonic or sometimes electromagnetic sensors that are integral components of modern parking guidance systems or individual space occupancy detection systems. Each sensor is installed in the center or at the edge of a parking space. Its function is to detect whether that particular space is occupied by a vehicle or is vacant. This real-time occupancy information is then relayed, often wirelessly, to a central management system. This system can then display the availability of parking spots on digital signs at the entrance to the parking facility or on different levels, or provide data to mobile apps, thereby helping drivers find empty parking spots more quickly and efficiently, reducing congestion and frustration. The small car logo on the device further reinforces its automotive-related function within a parking environment. Received as part of a goodie bag, this black, small, rubbery item bears a resemblance to something that might fit onto a pencil, but it is definitively not an eraser. It is described as being fairly light. The finder attempted to fit it onto an Apple Pencil, but it didn't seem to be the correct application for it. What is this pencil topper-like rubber piece actually intended for? This small, black, rubbery item that looks somewhat like a pencil topper is identified as a straw cap or a straw tip cover. These are small, flexible caps, usually made from food-grade silicone or a similar soft rubbery material, designed to fit snugly over the open end of a drinking straw. They are particularly popular for use with reusable straws, such as those made from stainless steel, glass, bamboo, or hard plastic. Straw caps serve multiple practical purposes. They help to keep the tip of the straw clean and hygienic when it's not in use, especially when carrying it in a bag or pocket. They can prevent minor spills if the straw is in a container that gets accidentally knocked over, and some people find them more comfortable to drink from, providing a softer mouthpiece compared to a bare metal or hard plastic straw end. Their small size and flexible, often colorful rubber material are characteristic features. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.